Hey there friends, welcome and welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having an amazing day. If you're new here, thank you for visiting. My name is Melissa and this is a warm and friendly space to find and share creative ideas. I'm really excited to show you what I found at my local Goodwill store this week, and we're getting started right now. All three of today's projects appear to be a DIY that someone else attempted or completed and somehow ended up in a thrift store. So we're going to take them one by one and make improvements while still appreciating what was originally done. This first one appears to be two smaller chest of drawers that were glued together, one on top of the other. And we're going to start off by covering it in a white paint on the sides, because in a moment we're going to decoupage an image on here and we really need these sides to be a lighter shade. So that's what you're going to see me do here quickly, is just put on one coat of the Waverly Inspirations chalk paint in white. Any light color here will do. We're just trying to cover up that dark. And after we've set that aside to dry for about 15 minutes, I'm going in on the sides and the top with a little bit of Mod Podge. And next, preparing my napkin. This is a 2-ply napkin. I'll have it linked down below for you. And I'm going to cover the sides and top with this. First, we're going to go ahead and pull apart the two different plies. Now, I let the Mod Podge dry here for about 5 minutes before I placed the napkin on top of it and using an iron to flatten it out. The idea of having parchment paper between the paper and the iron is just so that you don't get any nasties, any dirt, any glue on your iron. So this is very easy. If you've never tried the ironing method, you should. I've done this with large and small projects, and it really eliminates any opportunity for those wrinkles to come in. Even the texture that you find in decorative napkins is ironed out. And if you've worked with napkins before, or even just run to your kitchen right now and look at a paper napkin you have, you'll see that it has tiny, tiny little dimples over it. And the ironing method pulls those out without ripping the paper. And now I'm just kind of getting the overhang off there. And we're going to go right in here now and start to paint the face of the drawers. So when we started, it was just white paint with a black little handle. This is the color Celery. And then I'm going in with just a little bit of white paint, dry brushing that on. This is a really quick project. You could probably do this in under an hour. And here she is, all finished. Now I know that this is more of a spring look and feel, and I want to tell you that I will not be held captive by the season when it comes to my creativity, and you shouldn't be either. And moving on to yet another DIY that was attempted or created by someone else. This little white block, it measures 2.5 by 10. It had some rounded edges there, which I really liked. Normally I wouldn't go to the thrift store and just buy a piece of wood, but I liked that it was white. It was going to be easy to cover up, and those rounded corners. It had a little cat drawn on there in, I believe, Sharpie marker, and then the word catitude, which I thought was cute. But we're going to make it something else. I'm covering this in chalk paint. The color is moss. As I'm just measuring so that I can drill evenly spaced holes with the tiniest drill bit I could find in the top of this. And I'm asking, are you guys tired of seeing dried flowers on this channel yet? Hey, it's that time of year. But I tend to use them year round, but more so this time of year. But this is just the most delicate little leaf that was pressed and dried and came in a pack of dried flowers that I received. Not necessarily in this same pack as the other flowers you see here, but I had it in my stash nonetheless. And I'm just using Mod Podge, putting on a pretty thick coat here to keep it in place. And then I'm just going to cover the rest of the face of the block so that it doesn't look odd having just some of it covered. So when choosing and preparing my flowers to go into these tiny holes, I made sure to choose a variety of dried flowers that not only went well together, but kind of matched my mood. There are a couple of different varieties here just to keep the interest going, and I have 2 of each variety that I chose. And of those little sets of 2, they're all cut at the same length, stem length. You'll see me trimming here a little bit to just maneuver them, but I think that trimming them at the same length for each variety is what's going to allow them to kind of sit perfectly in there at the same height. If you enjoyed this video and the projects we're creating, give me a thumbs up so that I know you like them. This helps me know that I'm going in the right direction. We're going to go ahead and continue with the project, but before we do, take a moment, subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment, and share. If you know somebody else who would enjoy this, share me with them. They will appreciate it. The best part about this DIY is that these dried flowers aren't glued in place. So when the season does change, in the spring maybe, if you wanted to put some pinks or yellows or blues in here, you can totally do that. And I can see this on a much larger scale as well. How about a very long one of these running across your mantle or down the center of your dining room table? Oh my gosh, the vision is there. And the possibilities are endless. Let me know in the comments if you would like to see me make this on a larger scale. For our last DIY, this tray was really substantial, had nice weight to it, a great size at 13 inches. And originally I painted the inside of the tray this brownish tan color, but didn't like it, so then I went back in and did blue all over. I'm keeping the legs white and keeping the type of legs that are on there for now. I will paint them later. But we're going to start by just putting on a few pieces of decorative scrolls that I made with clay and a clay mold, and all of this will be linked down below for you. I'm using Aleene's tacky glue to adhere the molds to the tray while the molds are still wet, and this just allows it to conform more to the vessel. And I do find that the Aleene's tacky glue or wood glue work best for putting clay onto any object, any surface, whether it's glass, wood, metal. It just, for me, has always worked best. It also dries very quickly, especially the Dollar Tree wood glue, super glue, and I tend to turn to that a lot. I'm gonna line the bottom of the tray with a pretty pattern, and I pulled a sheet from the Amanda 12-inch paper pack from Hobby Lobby. Now they don't sell this online, so I couldn't grab you a link, but again, the name of it is Amanda. You don't have to line the bottom of the tray. I just wanted to give it a little bit more of a color pop. And I was just trying to be a little creative there, using the small Dixie cup to round the edges and holding them up to make sure that they are even. And then we're going to pop it in here, apply our Mod Podge, and get it down. Even though it was nearly a perfect fit, I had just a tiny bit of space around the edges, and as you can see there, it was a little bit of a struggle just trying to get it lined up. And here I'm just going back in with the same Admiral Blue acrylic paint and covering these scrolls. As you can see, I painted the legs in the antiquing wax off camera. That's my cat Maisie, who was sleeping on the table next to me while I was doing this tray. My cats love to be up my butt all the time, so you'll see them periodically pop in on videos. I'll try to keep it at a minimum unless somebody says, hey, I want to see your kitties. But Maisie is quite the adventurer, and she's the one that will most likely photo or video bomb. To finish this tray off, I used some antique rubbing buff by just rubbing a little bit on the legs, a little around the edges of the tray to distress it, and then really used it to accentuate the details in the scrolls that we put on here. I absolutely love the turnout of this tray and how it looks on the table in front of my sofa. It's just stunning. Let me know what you think. For those of you who are still here through the end of this video, please know that you are appreciated and you are the single most reason this channel is growing. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't been here before, like the video, give me a comment and tell me which project was your favorite, and I will see you next time. Have a great weekend.